Hi everybody, another day working on the vanity unit. So today we're going to put the adjustable feet onto the legs of the cabinet. Now I've just played around with one and I managed to get one in. So it turns out that the thread was in this plate. It wasn't actually an insert inside the leg. So I managed to get that one in alright. Put new screws in it. It screws up alright. Now this one, I'm starting on this one. Now that's our T-nut that I'm using, and I did have a go at putting the T-nut in, but the problem is this leg's split. I've got a few splits in it. So what I'm going to try and do, as you can see on the back, it's sort of splitting down here, but I am going to refinish these legs as I said I would. So what I'm going to try and do is with a screwdriver, and people might say I'm a bit crazy for doing this, but I want to try and open up those cracks a little bit. And I've got some wood glue here, some wood bond. I guess you call it PVA. Some people call it PVA. So I want to open up these cracks with a few screwdrivers, and I want to squirt this stuff inside. Let it sink down as far as it possibly can. Then I want to grab my clamps and I'll clamp that leg shut for a couple of days, and then come back and then reinsert my nutsert or T-nut. And I think that's going to be the best way to go about doing it, because what I'm finding is when this is actually, sorry guys about the camera work, when I do knock that in and then I put the plate over the top of it, I've had to try and cut a little bit out of the back, because these will not obviously go below the woodwork unless I try and grind the woodwork out. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to be easier at the moment, whether attacking the plates easier or attacking the woods easier. Now I did the wood on that one, and that was as much as a pain in the ass as it was to do the aluminium. So, but what I'm finding is even though when I got the screws in here and I put the leg into the T-nut, it's pulling the T-nut out of the wood because the wood's so split, it's not holding it tight. So we're gonna fix that now by gluing it, and we'll get that all back to being one solid piece. So just bear with me for a few minutes. I'll put a couple of screwdrivers in there and then we'll go through the gluing process. Okay guys, I thought this was a better idea. I tend to keep all the skewers, when I buy kebabs, I keep the skewers and I wash them all up and I bring them in the garage and use them for different things. Use them for stirring up two-part epoxies and you name it, whatever. Cleaning out grease that's caught in nooks and crannies when I'm degreasing something. But this has worked really good. It's opened up the cracks. So I'm hoping now I can get some glue in there. Sorry for my camera work today, I'm all over the place. But this is fairly thick stuff. It's not runny, so it's probably going to take a little while for it to go into all the cracks, and I'm probably going to have to try and squirt some in here from the side like that. So what I'll do, you got the rough idea of what I'm trying to do. So I'll just pause the footage here and I'll try and get all this glue in and then remove the skewers, and we'll clamp it up together, and you can see it all ooze out, and then we'll just do a quick clean up of the leg, and in a couple of days time we'll come back to it and see how it's all gone together. Okay guys, I've taken out the skewers. As you can see, I've given the leg a bit of a wipe down, which I had to do prior to putting the clamps on, but you can see a little bit of the glue squeezing out of that middle crack there. The rest of the cracks, that is actually glue that you see. It's not actually the white melamine underneath, it is actually glue. So all good. You can see there too, it's squished out. So we'll leave this for a couple of days, yeah, we'll just fill a couple of these holes. We can even fill the screw holes, because we don't know inside the screw holes if there's a crack emanating out from that. So, and also on the top here, I don't want this setting thick and high so that the plate won't actually sit nice and flush. So what I will do, now that I've sort of rubbed that in like that, we'll try and get most of this off. Trust the old worn sock. However you can get garage rags, you get them. So I keep everything, all bits of clothing for garage rags. So there we go. Pretty much clean that up. You can see that there is glue inside the original screw holes, and pretty much all the other cracks and everything like that's been filled. So we'll see if we can just get that off there. There we go. That probably would have peeled off when it was dry anyway. And the same on this side. I don't know what that camera angle is going to be like when I put it together, but we're sort of we're sort of upside down. But there we go. Anyway, yeah, not a big job. Nothing too extravagant. Nothing to write home about, but it's part of the process of restoring this, so I thought I'd show you what I was going to do. The condition of the other legs, they don't seem to be as bad as this. I think there was a really bad water leak on this side of the cabinet. As you can see here, we've lost a bit of the what do you call it, like laminate. I should know, I sell the bloody stuff at work, and I've got a brain fart at the moment. But yeah, so but it's not seen, butts up against the wall. But all this, I'll give this a coat of paint when I paint the inside, as I mentioned in the last video, and I'll seal it up so that there's no you know, everything's watertight, and yeah, all good. Those inserts that I made for the bottom shelves, now I've flipped this upside down, and as you can see, they're still hanging in there. So I've made them pretty much spot on. Nice and tight, hold themselves in, and even the melamine middle shelves, they haven't fallen out. They're still suspended the way they would normally be if this cabinet was up the right way. So I've got a nice tight fit. So yeah, everything's sort of coming along. We're making some good progress, and fixing up a lot of the bad stuff that you know, should have been listed when I bought the cabinet, but obviously wasn't. So you know, what could I say? The guy refunded the money, and yeah, he did the right thing, and I've scored this. But yeah, it's costing me a bit of time to get it all restored. So that's the way it goes. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to start removing the plates from these two legs. I'm going to start inspecting them and see what they're like. These plates aren't a perfect fit on the legs. There is a little bit of a lip around some of the edges. This one seems to fit the best, but as you can see there's a little bit of a lip. This is on the back side. So they're not exactly a perfect fit for the leg. So they probably won't be a perfect fit when they go back on. But what can you do? You know, they're pre-cut. I'm not going to make new ones to be exactly perfect to fit them. That's the way they are. And as long as the two front legs are pretty much flush, that's all you're going to see. You won't see the back legs in the bathroom because of what surrounds the sides of the vanity. So we'll just go with that. Okay, it's a couple of days later after I stuck the acrylic into the door frames. So that's what we've come up with. I haven't yet cleaned the back of the frames to get off all the sealant that was put on originally, but to be honest, these actually look better than the green pieces of glass, green tinted glass that was in there. You can't actually see through into the cabinet, so it's going to give it a lot more neater appearance, I think. I just think it looks good. I think it looks good. It's got the new handles on it. They look great. So yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow I can flip the cabinet over. All the legs, all the adjustable legs are on now. I've still got this one clamped up, but I've even put the plate and this back on because I figured whilst this is all nice and compressed, it's the best time to put the screws in, because that's, if the holes had spread out due to the leg splitting, whilst the glue was wet, this will help hold everything together. So yeah, so we got 4 adjustable legs. There was a little bit of melamine chipped off the inside corner here, so I put a bit of glue in there and I threw another clamp on there. And I went through my shed earlier and I found that I had some semi-gloss white paint. So what I'm going to do is just paint all the insides of here, so that when you look through the plastic, the white plastic, you don't see anything. Where if you look really hard at the moment, you can sort of see the brown of the timber through that white plastic. So we'll do that. I'll use it to fix up all around there and seal up everything. And we had a bit of lifting here. Obviously water's got down here and lifted the edge, so what I've done is where it was sort of peeled out, I've used a file and I've filed that and taken off that edge. There was no way I could push it back because the wood's swollen, but I dare not go any more than that. I don't think it'll be noticeable. It was lifting a little bit here, but it wasn't worth hitting it with the file. So I'll just put a little bit of white paint on that as well. It should come up really good. Yeah, so that's where we're at, guys. I've done bugger all today, but something's better than nothing. So I'll leave it here and we'll pick up on what I'm going to do tomorrow.